Okay, so my name is William. Okay. Today I'm going to read part of the boundary Jeremiah chapter 52. Okay. Zedekiah was 120 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name Hadamate. Okay, sorry. Hamutal, the daughter of Jeremiah the Labna, and he did which was evil in the eyes of the Lord, according to all that Jehoiakim had done. For through the anger of the Lord came to pass through Jerusalem and Judah, and he had cast them out of the presence of Zedekiah, rebelled against the king of Babylon. And he came the 9th year of his reign, in the 10th month, in the 10th day of the month, that Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babylon came, and he and his army against Jerusalem, and pinched against it, and built forts against it round about. So the city was besieged until the 11th year of King Zedekiah. In the 4th month, the day of the month, the famine was in the sore of the city, and so as there was no bread for the people of the land. And the city was broken up, and all the men that were in the men of war fled, and went off for the city by night. And the gate between the two walls and the king's garden were now the Chaldeans were by the city round about, and by the way of the plain. But the army of the Chaldeans pursued after the king, and overtook Zedekiah. The plains of Jericho, and over his army was scattered from him. And then they took the king and carried him unto the king of Babylon, and Riblah descent in the land of Hamath, where he gave judgment upon him. And the king of Babylon slew the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes, and he slew his princes of Judah and Riblah, and he put his eyes of Zedekiah the king of Babylon, bound him in chains, and carried him and came into Babylon, and put him in prison till the day of his death. Now in the 5th month, in the 10th day of the month, which was in the 19th year of Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babylon, came Nebuchadnezzar and the captain of the guard, which served the king of Babylon, into Jerusalem, burned the house of the Lord and the king's house, and all the houses of Jerusalem, and all the houses of the great men, burned he with fire. All the army of the Chaldeans that were with the captain of the guard brake down all the walls of Jerusalem round about. And Nebuchadnezzar Adon, the captain of the guard, carried away, kept certain of the poor of the people, and the residue of the people remained in the city, and those that fell away, and that fell to the king of Babylon, and the rest of the multitude. But Nebuchadnezzar Adon, the king of the captain of the guard, left certain of the poor of the land for fed dressers and for the husbandmen. Also of the pillars of brass that were in the house of the Lord, and also the baskets of the brazen sea, who was in the house of the Lord, and the Chaldeans broke, and carried the brass of them to Babylon, and the cadrons also, and the shovels of the snuffers, and the bowls, and the spoons, and the vessels of the brass wherewith they ministered, and they took they away, and the basins, and the fire pans, and the bowls, and the cadrons, and the candlesticks of the spoons, and the cups that which was good in gold, which was silver in silver, and took the captain of the guard away. And the two pillars, 1 sea and 12 brass, and the bowls that were under the brass, which King Solomon had made in the house of the Lord. The brass of those vessels was without weight, Concerning the pillars, the height of the one pillar was 18 cubits, and a field of 12 cubits did compass it, and the thickness thereof was 4 fingers, it was hollow. And the chapiter brass was upon it, and the height of one chapiter was 5 cubits, and the network of the pomegranates upon the chapiter was round about all the brass. The second pillar was also the pomegranates were like unto these. And there were 96 pomegranates on the side, and all the pomegranates are upon the network were 100 round about. And the captain of the guard took Syria, the chief priest, and Zedekiah, the second priest, and 3 keepers at the door. Took also the city of Enoch, which had a charge in the men of war, and 7 men of them that were near the king's person, which found the city of the principal scribe of the host, most of the people of the land, and 60 of the men of the people of the land, and were found the midst of the city. So Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, took them and brought them to the king of Babylon and Riblah. And the king of Babylon smote him and put him in death. And Riblah, the land of Hamath, the Judah was carried away, kept up of his own land. This is the people from whom Nebuchadnezzar king carried away. And from the 7th year, around about 1,000 Jews and 3 and 20. In the 18th year of Nebuchadnezzar, the king carried away, captured Jerusalem 832 persons. In the 3 and 20th year of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar and captain of the guard, and carried away the captive of the Jews, 745 persons. All of the persons were 4,600. And it came in the 7th and the 30th year of the captivity of the Trajan, the king of Judah, and the 12th month, and of the 20th day of the month, and that evil Merodach, the king of Babylon, in the 1st year of his reign, lifted up the hand of the Trajan, the king of Judah, and brought him forth of the prison, and spake kindly unto him. And instead of blown above the king of the kings were with him in Babylon, that changed in the person garments, and then he did continue to eat bread before him all the days of his life. And all of his diet was a continual diet, and given him of the king of Babylon every day a portion until the day of his death, all the days of his life. Okay, it's in Jeremiah chapter 52. And okay, so means I read all of the chapters. I read the whole. So I read all the chapters of the book of Jeremiah. And it means that next week I'll read the book of Lamentations. Okay, I'll read. So next week I'll read Lamentations chapter. I'll read Lamentations chapter 1. Okay. Okay, and I have the go rights now. So if you're watching this video, read just thereby.